welcome back to the show, everyone. Prion disease, really?
Yeah, you know what? I realize I'm probably the only person out there that is amused by my constant references to dying of a horrible prion disease, but it's what you get from eating brains. You see, the whole Creutzfeldt, right? Yeah,
So,
mad cow.
Let's get to better
Mad
topics
monkey.
about brain disease. We're going to talk about action figures and toy museums and all sorts of fun things. We're joined by the Austin Toy Museum guys. Introduce yourselves, everybody.
I'm Caleb Zammit. I'm the director of the Austin Toy Museum Project. How y'all doing?
I'm Barry Comp, help out with Caleb and everything that we got going on right now.
Good
Caleb
volunteer.
and Barry. All right, so since you're new to the show, we're going to ask you 4 gauntlet questions. You give us the first answer that hits your head, okay?
All right.
Number 1, if you were an action figure, what would be your best accessory? Caleb.
Probably a big gun.
Barry.
I would also say it, but it would somehow be attached to my back and come over my shoulder.
Would it have like one of the missile firing actions?
It'd be very Cable-esque from what you say.
It would, but it would also help the kid out and have some type of string so he doesn't lose it the first weekend.
You know, that was really bad being kids because you fire, you never know who they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
If
still
there's a
finding-
string, you could pull it out of your throat if you're choking on it.
Nice. All right, next up. What size figures do you prefer?
I prefer 3 3/4 because that's 80 standard.
Okay.
A little bit taller. I like them, like not like the huge
It's
original
like
stuff.
the Ninja Turtles size.
Exactly, and that's pretty much my generation of most stuff I collect, and I just got used to it. So
That's a good size. All right, so what's your favorite toy line?
My favorite would probably be Voltron, just because it's robots that come together.
Have you
It's
seen the
true.
Disney version where it's Mickey Mouse and his friends?
I don't watch that.
No, it's a Japan import. It's just a
Oh,
toy
really?
that they made with Mickey Mouse's friends like Voltron.
That
sounds
scares
sounds
me.
pretty
sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds scary.
What about you, Barry?
the Kinder stuff, like the Predator line, that's my main collection to mess with right now. But as a kid, it was Ninja Turtles. But currently, right now, some of the stuff that's just like even more toyetic than that, where there were so many variations. And
I like the
stuff.
word toyetic.
Yeah,
We need to totally write that one down. Toyetic,
it
people.
was by Freakazoid, actually, the cartoon that came around when Animaniacs and stuff. He coined it the first time when he was getting in the Freakazoid cycle or something like that. And he gave the definition, basically something created in a cartoon just to sell more toys.
Okay.
All right, and last question. What's your favorite toy store?
My favorite toy store right now is Outlaw Moon because they're one of our sponsors.
Nice.
And they have nice toys.
Exactly. I'll agree with that. Aside from eBay. So.
Yeah, eBay.
Could you really consider eBay a toy store? It's more of a
It's an
general
everything store.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just so many cats on there that have they're doing kind of like Caleb. They just have the collection and everything, and then they just try to help move them and get them out there. So really, they're kind of
Get
like
rid of
little
their
mini
extras.
stores,
Yeah.
in a way.
So
it's
with the
still-
new toys that are out there, what's your favorite line of things that someone could walk into a Toys R Us and get today?
good luck. Toys R Us has a horrible
Okay,
selection.
you know what I mean. Honestly, no. Toys aimed at actual kids. Toys R Us, Target, things that kids could lay their hands on.
Oh, I don't pay too much attention to modern toys, but I like Skylanders. They're interesting. They help kids play with modern toys while playing with iPads, and it's kind of a double integration
Okay.
type of thing.
The most stuff I look at now is it's always going to be the new Lego stuff. It's the
Oh,
only thing
yeah.
I can think
Oh,
of.
yeah.
Yeah, our show director Josh is a Lego fanatic. His room is covered in Legos. He's got that giant executor set.
Oh man.
'Cause
And I
Legos
took
are
one
awesome.
piece off of it, just one, and hit it.
First thing he notices when he walks in.
Yeah.
So what inspired you guys to start a toy museum here in Austin?
I've been thinking about starting a toy museum for like the past 10 years. I moved to Austin about 5 years ago after I graduated Texas State, but I just always collected with in mind, I'd like to show this off to everyone. I'd like to have a toy museum, so I collected
So
every
really, this is
single
just
line.
enabling your own personal collection, is what you're saying.
Yeah, just, being able to get more and more toys
I
and
can completely
justifying
relate
it.
to
I
in
love
my
the fact
life.
that there's an excuse behind why you need more and more toys. Hey, I got a museum. I just need like a case. Come
Well,
on.
I like the fact that he's sharing them because I've known people, especially Star Wars fans, that'll have an entire room with the spinner racks and everything, but they never take them out.
Yeah.
And you can't if it's the bottom of the back rack of your spinner rack, how is that actually bringing you any joy? Whereas your stuff has obviously been taken out and played with, and
Yeah, I
I
don't like
that.
mint and package stuff. I like being able to play with it.
I appreciate
Did
that,
you-
sir. I
Did
appreciate
you
that.
ever like mint and package? Because I started out mint and package and I realized I don't have enough wall space 1 and 2. I just want to open and put them on a bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
I never like min package, and for those reasons, you know, you don't have enough room to put all the big boxes everywhere, and you can compact them more if they're open, and you can build dioramas. Which I'm really into.
You can actually play with them, is what he's trying to say. And even as grown-ups, it's just fun to play with things. We don't play in the same way as kids. Sometimes we play in the same way as kids.
Yeah, sometimes.
But, you know, it's... Yeah, I've never understood the whole, like, but my packaging, that cardboard is the most important part of my toy.
Look at the corners.
Well, no, some toys had some awesome packaging.
That's
like,
true.
McFarlane used to do some really good packaging on his aquarium boxes and things like that. And I didn't want everyone to open those because once you open them, they never really stood up really well. Like my crow figure was like falling forward, and I was just like, yeah, sometimes they weren't worth opening, and you know, it's just the way it goes.
McFarlane, you couldn't really move either because they'd break off. Right?
Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
statues. They were total statues. They're just meant to look pretty. You're not really functional, so you couldn't like have little action figure scenes. So, how long have you had a toy fetish, for lack of a better term?
Oh, probably since I was like 3. I remember having a dream about owning all the Star Wars toys, and then since then,
Who didn't? Besides Chris-Rachael.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I wanted to own all the X-Men toys, so...
Yeah, so you know, then started toy hoarding basically after that.
Were you one of those kids on the playground who are like, no, that's my toy, you're going to give it to me, it's in your lunchbox, you sneak out?
I'm like, I got an apple.
You don't need that.
So when people go in there, and don't make him sound creepy, when people go in there, instead of being like, hi, hoarder, what will they actually see?
Oh, they'll see lots of toys from like their childhood, or they'll see toys, you know, that they can tell their children about. And this morning we did a toy show, and we had all sorts of vintage video games everywhere, and we had lots of dads who were like, look, honey, this is the Atari 2600 I had when I was little, and the kid was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I saw that like 3 times today while I was there. It was a dad trying to explain something, and it was just like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the way the technology is evolving? I mean, even in toys, like you mentioned, Skylanders, they use a video game. There's toys that use your iPad. Toys are becoming more interactive so that kids don't quite understand the point of just having your hand and playing. No, they got to have something technical behind it.
Yeah, and the attention span has really gone down.
Oh,
The
very
amount
much
of
so.
Imaginative play has gone away, basically. So, you know, that's something we kind of want to help bring back also. And around the displays, we'll have lots of toys people can play with and touch.
So, yeah, that
That's
was my...
nice, because so few museums, especially museums oriented to kids, will let you actually just pick stuff up and touch it. And just knowing that you can go in there and just touch all of it really
Without
makes
bars
me very,
dropping
very
down
happy.
and, and lasers going off.
I
And,
appreciate how much it's making him twitch as I'm grabbing a
Well,
hold.
we can have
As you
lasers. Don't worry about it.
You already broke one. Put him down. So that's, I guess, something that have you guys thought about if you're gonna have stuff for people to touch? You know, kids are very rough and things
Yeah,
are gonna
we-
get broken. Do you have like a toy hospital in there?
Well, we'll do that, but you know, we also have like the lesser graded ones,
Yeah.
like the older Ninja Turtles that have been in the sandbox for a while. They'll be able to be played with and touched. The more pristine ones will be in the case on display.
So I understand that you guys actually are running a Kickstarter.
Yeah, we have a Kickstarter right now, and it's about at $3,000 right now. It's got 29 days to go, so we're on a good track so far.
And what's your total goal? I mean, in order to set up a whole museum, that is not a cheap thing.
Well, we figured out we need like 10 grand for the cases, and then we need like, you know, around 7,000 for first month or 2 rent, and then we need about 3,000 to set up everything else, and the 501c nonprofit status is going to cost us a pretty penny. So,
Wow.
total 20 grand.
So where's this museum expected to be at?
Somewhere in Austin. We want it in Austin. That's where most of us are. There's some collectors in Houston and stuff that are helping us out. But primarily, we're all in Austin, and we're all wanting to be near our collections.
That
as they
makes
do
sense.
Display. Yeah.
So you don't have the separation anxiety of, oh no, it's somewhere in San Antonio.
We can go visit it.
Yeah.
You have little cameras
Well,
so
on
you can
top
like
of that,
Skype it
they
every
probably
day.
need to be the people manning it, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for a while, it's, you know, none of us are going to get paid.
Yeah.
We're all volunteers at this point. So as long as we can get like docents and use ourselves as docents, we can run it for free.
I love the fact, by the way, that in this day and age, anybody is starting a museum from scratch. It's not something you hear someone say they're going to do very often.
No, but you can do it as long as you put your mind to it. I guess.
yeah.
It just felt like an NBC after school special.
It did.
The more
You know!
Sound like a Mr. T phrase. I do it.
Well, one of the things you said earlier is you don't really do much modern toys. Will you have an evolution of toys in a museum, or is it all going to be like retro old stuff?
Well, we're thinking we're going to have toys that are only at least 20 years old, but we're also going to have guest displays, and the guest displays can be newer than that. So as the toys age into the 20-year time frame, they can be displayed also.
Okay.
And then we'll also have a gift store that'll probably be a toy store as well.
I was going to ask you about your gift shop. I'm assuming that for something like this, the gift shop might actually be the biggest attraction.
It might be, but we're hoping that, it can make a lot of money for the museum also, because when kids are out there playing with toys, of course they're going to want to
Oh,
buy
yeah.
one.
Are there any toys in particular that you're hoping that parents are going to bring their kids in and bond over?
Bond over? Well, a lot of parents bonded this morning over video games. I'm not sure if the kids bonded very much, but yeah, we hope that they show them the old Ninja Turtles, and kids today will be like, oh, well, we have the modern Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And, they'll put the two Ninja Turtles together and bond over that.
What are you going to do when they have the new movie toys? And like, that doesn't look anything like my Michelangelo.
Yours is wrong. Mine's right.
Your head's going to literally explode.
Yeah, well, that's anytime, they're interacting like that, especially parents and kids, whether it's one way or the other, it's still got to be pretty good. And then one could talk about one over the other. But there's not any time I haven't been around one of the dioramas and other people, and I haven't heard someone say, I had that like a million times with each thing. And I can't look at one of them without doing the same thing. And stuff that you just completely forgot about, because the collection is so extensive. It's awesome.
So how far back does it go? Is it mostly toys that parents or grandparents didn't look at? Because I know that like Victorian toys could be super creepy.
They can be. I've seen some of those dolls. So
Yeah.
far, we're only going back to the 1960s.
Okay.
But eventually, we'd like to expand further back, maybe a few decades.
Okay.
Not too far.
So you're wanting to get back into things that people actually would have played with and not into things that people are going to bring their kid and then the kid's going to cry and be traumatized because,
Exactly.
Victorian
Creepy.
evil
Come on,
eyes.
those
Thanks for
dolls,
the
there's
nut,
nothing
but-
wrong with them. They fall over, their eyes are closed, they're just like staring. Hey, I
You
saw
have
that in The
not seen the
Conjuring.
same ones I'm thinking of.
Those dolls are creepy.
Yeah.
Especially when they say mama.
Well, so your museum's planning on having like displays of the figures. Like, let's say you have the real Ghostbuster with the firehouse and stuff. Like, do you have a whole collection of stuff, or are you like finding donations for extra pieces you're missing?
We pretty much have everything we need at this
I'm
point.
so jealous of you.
You should see my
Are you-
house.
are
My wife
you-
isn't.
She's like, good, get this museum done. I need my rooms back.
I would assume that some people are wanting to donate their old toys to you guys. Do you guys get a lot of toys? You're like, I already have 9 million copies of this because this was the most popular toy in 1986. I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah, we are taking some toy donations still. A lot of stuff we already have, and we're telling collectors they don't have to give their collection necessarily, but if they really want to, they can. And we did get some really cool toys that we didn't have the other day. Like somebody gave me a creepy crawler set from the 1960s.
I don't even
Awesome.
know what that
It
is.
was
It's an easy bake oven for dudes. It makes
Oh,
little
okay.
monsters instead of food.
Yeah, and I didn't
That
even know
sounds
they
good.
had that in the 1960s.
Isn't that what I do for a living? Make little monsters instead of food?
Well, yeah, but your monsters are edible.
Well, that's true.
These ones aren't. Unless you really wanted to be sick.
Yeah, but I turned it on and it started on fire, so it might need a little bit of repair.
Oh, that's always fun. It's like, don't plug this in the display. So you have whole lines. What is the favorite line that you have that you're going to put on display?
My favorite line would probably be Transformers, besides Voltron, because it's just so extensive.
Because it's more than meets the eye.
And we made a really cool Cybertron diorama to go with it too.
I'm already hooked on that one. What about you, Barry?
Dragon's Lair right now, the Ninja Turtle one.
Is it the
my favorite
80s
one.
versions?
And it's got all that stuff. It's got the blimp, all the vehicles, the way that Caleb and the guys did the bottom sewer and everything with all the water-based crabs and everything at the bottom level, the Channel 6 news, everything about it.
How many
is
mousers are in this display?
Mausers? 4, 3.
I'm just waiting for them to start multiplying, and all of a sudden you have a whole room of mousers, because that's just what they did.
Yeah.
What about Legos? You guys going to have a Lego display?
We do have one Lego collector, and we could always use another one because his collection is more modern, but he has a lot of the Wild West and space stuff from the 80s. But we need more. Yeah. So if there's a Lego collector out there who wants to display with us,
Where would they contact you for that?
they would contact us through our website or through our Facebook, and there's a contact link on both of them.
And your website is?
www.austintoymuseum.com.
It's on the
All one
bottom.
word?
Yep, and then
Okay.
there's also www.austintoymuseum.com/Kickstarter.
My goodness. Maybe
Yeah.
they could take a look at that as well.
Yes, because Kickstarter's still going.
Yeah, it's going till June 22nd.
Okay.
Are you wearing a Street Shark shirt?
Yes.
Do you have a Street Shark display somewhere in this museum?
We need one. We don't have street sharks yet, so if there's a street shark collector out there,
And then the last one I have to ask about, please tell me you have a He-Man display.
Of course. We have it on display at Outlaw Moon right now. It's a full diorama. You can go look at it.
Where's Outlaw Moon?
It's behind Austin Books on Lamar.
Okay, I'm going to have to go look because I'm going to be like, I grew up loving Transformers and G.I. Joe, but most of all He-Man.
you'll love this
I was
display.
really into She-Ra.
See, He-Man, She-Ra, that was like the most awesome hour of cartoons
And
ever.
there's just something about Skeletor. Oh, man. Have you seen, I'm sure everyone has seen this, like, the pictures of somebody that keeps posting Skeletor on their cat?
Oh, yeah, like his
every time that
Panthro
goes
with the
around on the
saddle
internet,
on
I
it.
cheer.
Did they paint it purple?
No, it's just on
Dye the cat purple, then you get PETA calling you, hey, you dyed a cat purple, we're coming after you.
PETA never complains if I dye myself strange colors.
It's because
Oh,
they're
man,
not paying
weekends.
attention. Well, some of these toy lines can be really big, like Star Wars is massive.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these ones, how do you decide what you're going to put on display and what not put on display?
Well, we want to have about 11 feature displays. So that would be Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, He-Man. But then the rest of the displays are all going to be like wall displays. So the feature displays are going to be large-sized dioramas. Like our Star Wars one is slated to be 16 by 16 feet. Our G.I. Joe one is slated to be 24 by 4 feet, and we have about one section of that finished so far, so 1/4. And then our Ninja Turtles one, it came out to 3 feet by 4 feet. But then the rest of the wall displays are going to be, just basic displays with smaller dioramas inside of them.
So did you use the magic crackle to keep everything in place?
Oh, we were going to have to use Tiki Tack or something because, things just fall. Right
Yeah.
over.
What has been the biggest challenge in making these displays that you've come across?
The biggest display is finding volunteers to come over on time and stay steady.
On time and steady, like you get to go play with toys and build stuff. How?
Yeah, but part of that has to be, now you're going to sit there and hold him in place and not move for 17 minutes while he dries.
Well, we don't glue the figures down,
okay.
but we do a lot of vacuum forming and all sorts
Okay.
of cool stuff. So definitely go check out some of our dioramas.
So wouldn't that be a great excuse if you're looking for people to come out there that want to learn how to use a vacuum or form machine or other
Yeah.
things like that? Like
We need
say,
more volunteers to
if
help
you're
us
really
build.
into Face Off and you want to know how all the stuff, because that's a lot of stuff they use on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So educational opportunity. Yes, I'm going to continue to pimp them because I want to go to this museum.
And I have a
It's-
sculpture degree, so I can educate them.
Wow, so you went to so you didn't go to school to learn to be a toy collector. You went to be a sculptor.
I'm kind of majored in sculpting and then minored in toy collecting.
Yeah, that toy collecting degree
Electives
was
with the
also
toy
fun.
collecting.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So you brought some of these toys here, but I only see one girl toy, which is Jim. And I don't yell at me that I'm calling it a girl toy, but
No,
it
it's a girl
was.
toy. I agree.
Will you be doing more girl-based toys, like more Barbies, Jim, things like that?
We do have 60s Barbies. We have Rainbow Bright. We have My Little Pony. We have Care Bears and Strawberry Shortcake. They smell. You can huff
Do
them
they
some.
still smell?
They still
Strawberries?
smell.
Wow.
30 years later.
They have little holes in the display, so you just like,
Yeah.
give me that strawberry smarts. Yeah.
We even have one toy that's really interesting. It's Growing Up Skipper. It was very controversial in the 1970s. You twist her arm, and she grows boobs. And
Okay, now are you gonna have that one on motion so people can see it actually happen in the toy
Like
museum?
on a
or-
robotic arm that
I
does it
think
back
so.
and forth.
Wow.
I think we need to.
Wow. That's something that you should
It's
just put a
educational.
video up of just so you can see it. Is that what happened to me?
Yes, put your arm up and down.
No, okay, they're not going away.
Yeah, hers goes away, so I guess that's kind of backwards.
That is really weird. Do you have any other fun, controversial toys that were really hard to find?
Well, that's the most controversial toys, but we've got the old Voltron that had lead paint with it.
Tasty.
Do you have the Boba Fett with the shooting backpack?
No, that was a prototype sold a couple months ago to like 20 grand to some dude.
Wow.
So we did not have enough funds to buy that.
Shocking. I'm glad you're opting for a museum instead of just that one toy.
Yeah, people might get mad at me if I blow all the money on that.
So going from your house to museum must be kind of an epic challenge because you have all this in your house. Are you kind of sad that it's not going to be in your house anymore?
Kinda, but I know my wife isn't.
What about you, Barry?
I like being able to go to Caleb's and looking at all this stuff, but if there's just going to be another place for it, then
You guys could go hang out.
then it's
just
all
be like-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll be able to set up bigger displays there. Also.
That makes sense.
Huge dioramas and everything. Have Amazing Fantasy 15 under a nice sprinkly light or something.
with some glitter on the glass.
Yes, exactly. Hologram of Stanley.
Excelsior is all it needs to say. Well, a museum can't just have attractions. It's got to have some like events and activities. What kind of events do you guys think you're going to have?
Well, we want to have like cosplay costume contests.
Yay! I approve.
Like Halloween balls and, like events for kids. And I'm also an autism specialist in my day job. So I want to do a lot of like public service type events for children with autism.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just, general events like toy garage sales, toy shows, things like that.
I love the fact, by the way, that you have a degree in sculpting and now you're an autism specialist, because I've got degrees in history and now I write cookbooks.
Yeah. It's weird how those things work.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I went to be an art teacher and then I ended up an autism specialist.
Well, at least you stayed in the same part of the alphabet.
That's true.
See?
That's true. All right.
That's the important aspect. Hey, I'm still in the A's. What about you, Barry? What kind of things do you think would be fun to plan for a toy museum?
Man, just thinking about like being a kid, trying to have like a birthday party type thing there, any type of event, whatever
Yeah.
like
But
that.
that's kind of mean to a kid because you're in a room full of toys that you can't take home on your birthday.
You can
Yeah,
play
but
with
they're
them.
all old toys, so you get to see what the old toys were like, and then presumably mom and dad are going to take you to the gift shop afterwards.
Exactly. And
There you
that's
go.
one of our Kickstarter rewards, having your birthday.
And if you know that's what your theme is, then that's probably what the party favor stuff will be.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the parent
Ninja
having a
Turtle
party,
party.
so it's kind of like, how can you go wrong with it being at a venue like this type of thing? Is the way I would think when I was a kid. You're limited to. It's like, oh, it's gonna be at the park. Oh, it's gonna be at his aunt's house. Oh, it's gonna be at the toy museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to go? Who's going to get the best gifts?
They're all, I want to go to the toy museum. Or so are you guys gonna like make your own cakes? You're gonna allow outside food? Like you can make little toy cakes or something?
Toy
Out of cake? Out of toys?
Yeah, you should totally like make a Lego cake. Here you go, kids, have fun.
Find the Legos.
Yeah, that might hurt, but I don't know. If you want, we can have your birthday party there and do that.
We'll
That's
totally
how
have a
we'll do
Lego cake. You can. Oh. No, Chris. On our last birthday, there's 4 of us that have the same birthday. She made a triple layer cake that had pie cooked in each layer.
Yeah, I made a cake turducken for them.
It was the most epic cake ever.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, good luck topping that, by the way.
Yeah. Setting the bar up. Haven't
Yeah.
got it going yet. But.
We could melt down some action figures, make a cake out of it.
The lead ones especially.
Yeah,
I hear that it's
delicious.
really sweet.
Yeah.
Although, you die in the end. But hey, the cake was worth it.
That's what I tell everyone when they get my cookbooks.
You might just get a learning disability.
So if this becomes like super popular, how do you see you guys going in the future? Because one of the things I see that like Disney does on the Star Wars weekends is they do custom scans for custom action figures.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like, do you guys think maybe in the future you would try to offer something like that?
Maybe
or-
get somebody to
Develop our own
donate a 3D
toys.
printer.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. I have worked with 3D printers in the past, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
I-
3D scanners also. Those are nice. So, yeah, scanning someone's head, we could definitely make some toys like that if we have enough funds.
That'd be. Where could you go get funds at? AwesomeToyMuseum.com/Kickstarter.
But if it's something that's a few years down the line, maybe you could get sponsorships from either MakerBot or one of the more generic ones or something
yeah,
along
that'd
those
be
lines
great.
that might be willing to chip in for an educational purpose on that.
Exactly.
Really,
And
MakerBot, I think that's a fantastic idea. Not that I'm pimping, but MakerBot,
Yeah,
She loves MakerBot.
I do, it's true.
I had a Prussia. It was okay. Yeah. But yeah, we could definitely, take a 3D printer now if they want to donate it also. And we want to show like how toys are developed both in the past and currently. So 3D printers would be a good way to do that.
I think as a kid that'd be fascinating because a lot of times, like this one, for example, doesn't have any bones, as I like to refer to it.
No
but-
bones?
No bones. But the ones that actually have something in it that you can bend and pose, I think it'd be really fascinating for a kid to learn what the skeleton of a toy is compared to the skeleton of a human. Because it's
Yeah.
really quite different for, like, they don't have guts,
And they're also, they're not very realistic at a lot of times.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are
the
getting
ones
better.
that have like 16 points of
Articulation.
Thank you.
I had a
That's the word I
2-foot
was
toy that had
looking
96 points of articulation. It was a Spider-Man toy.
I was about to say it has to be a
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
it was the joints.
Fingers,
I
ankles.
love that thing so much. That was a
Baby
lot of-
toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most kids don't even realize that toys are sculpted. So just seeing the side of the prototype development and stuff like that. And that's another one of our Kickstarter rewards, a custom action figure of yourself. But yeah, like Super Joe, people got to see how he was made, how he was developed. So
I
Well,
think it'd be awesome.
I think it's awesome, too, the story behind how some of these things got made, because there's a history behind everything.
yeah, like where'd this face come from?
Yeah, and how did the line come to be, and what were all the accessories? Because I go down the toy action figure aisles now, and there's no real accessories anymore.
Really?
It's all the same stuff as far like you go to Walmart, it's
I
like aisle of wrestling toys.
I have a
and-
theory. I have a theory that that's because you're old. And when you look at toys these days, you're like, toys these days all look alike. Not in my day when they all completely looked different. And I think everyone's always said that about their toys.
Well, I think
What do
people
you
are
guys
scared
think?
of guns now too.
Oh,
There's
yes.
so many guns with G.I. Joe, and now he comes with like a camera.
Oh, really? I was hoping you were going to say like a knife, you know?
No.
I laugh because he's entirely right. I worked at Toys R Us when Tarzan came out, the Disney movie, and a lady brought back Clayton because he had a shotgun. I was like, lady, he's holding the shotgun on the package. In the package, his toys holding a shotgun. I just don't want my kid to have guns. What's wrong with you? Well, guns were fine when we were kids. Why aren't they fine now?
Exactly. That's slightly off topic. When I worked at KB Toys, a lady brought back a Ouija board. She was upset it didn't work.
I didn't get demons at all.
There was no possessions at my party. It was a letdown. Seriously? It
Seriously,
didn't work?
that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, she couldn't conjure grandmama or whatever she wanted, so she brought
I
it
got
back.
banned from KB once for playing laser tag in the store.
That's actually completely reasonable. The way you play laser tag, I do not blame them for kicking you out.
We do have laser tag sets too, so we're gonna set them
Like
up.
that you could actually go in and play with in the middle of the
Are you
toy
going to have like a
museum?
laser tag arena?
Yeah, we should. Well, maybe a mini one because it's like the 80s laser
Yeah.
tag, and you have to be like this close.
He
to
has
get
his
it
own
right.
laser tag jacket.
Oh,
Yeah, I got the
fancy.
one from Think Geek, and one of our cameramen, Sean, has the Tiger ones that are the rifles that have the rocket that shoots off.
Oh, cool.
It actually works. Like, the rocket hits off and hits anything around it, so they run around the house in the backyard shooting each other, and we're all like, pew, 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 pew. We love laser tag. We're really ruthless when we go out and play.
I should have brought the set.
Oh!
I have the helmet and everything, and the little base thing that shoots you back from the 80s. Yeah.
I wanted that so bad. Oh, I remember that toy.
Starbase. That's what.
Yes.
So, it sounds like you're also kind of looking at maybe melding it with a family entertainment center aspect almost.
We could. We want to do something similar to that, and anything that helps the museum survive will
Yeah.
be beneficial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so Austin Toy Museum, austintoymuseum.com. You got a Kickstarter started going.
They've got
You
a
can-
Facebook page, they've got a website. Stalk them and give them money. Or maybe not give them money, I'm not supposed to say that. Stalk them and talk to them about ways that you can help with the museum.
Yes, volunteering, all sorts of fun things. If we had more time, we would probably show up and volunteer, but doing a weekly live show
Yeah.
and everything
Nah,
else.
we like
cooking.
Tiny bit time consumption.
Well, we'll take any time anybody can give.
Awesome.
Or
Well,
any fun.
check it out.
type
And do you guys have a potential launch date for when people, if you make enough money, you will be able to actually go in and see it?
We are shooting for December 2015.
Okay.
That's a really far way away.
Exactly. We have enough time.
I'm like, I was thinking it was 2 years, but it's actually next year because I'm like some
Yeah.
time warp right now, and I don't have any day. What
Well,
day
we
it is?
still have to fix all our arcade games. We have 10 arcade games.
You just keep putting more fire on this that I gotta go live. Like, I'm gonna live in your walls. Like, you're just gonna be stumbling around. I'm like, no.
You can be
It's
in the
not a horror
rafters.
movie. He actually lives in your closet.
Yeah, I'll
Sorry
live-
about
I'll
the
live inside there
webcam.
and-
I apologize to your wife already.
You'll see me at night going, toys. Playing video games with the other hand.
You're precious.
Although, are they classic retro games, I take it?
Yeah, it's Dragon Slayer, Pac-Man.
I love Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Asteroid, Centipede, Donkey Kong. You know, like a top 10, basically.
How long until you get a version of the Rockefeller Bland from Showbiz in there?
I don't know.
Oh man.
I mean, if you're going all out to retro stuff, you might as well throw in the crew d'etat of them all.
Yeah. And we got to get a Space, the first arcade game ever.
Well, you might be able to get a loan at some point from the folks that do pinballs.
Well, we could use them as a sponsor also. Yeah.
Lots and lots of fun. So, thank you guys for coming out and bringing out your toys. And I
Yes.
promise they'll be here at the end of the show. They're not going anywhere.
We'll
Even
be
these
watching.
really cold
Brains.
retro.
Yeah, I know it's
Brains.
You're going to get a disease.
Prion
horrible
disease.
prion disease, as a matter of fact.
And Jim. So, Austin Toy Museum. We will, once you guys actually open, we're definitely gonna be out there doing some shows.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are
And we'll
welcome.
probably have you on before then again because this was just too much fun. We
We'll have to bring laser tag next time.
Yes.
I'm promising you, laser tag will be bloodthirsty, ruthless with this group.
Yes, it
Well, the
will.
amount of accuracy the ladies.
Shots
80
fired.
has,
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Can we combine the laser tag with the buffer weapons from LARPing?
Oh, don't ever give this woman a foam sword.
I
I'm
have no
warning
idea
you
what he's
now.
talking about.
I saw there was a
have
Kickstarter
no idea
for
what he's
foam
talking about.
swords that keep score, like
Oh
laser
yeah,
tag.
yeah, yeah.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Like you just.
I have to go look some things up now.
Our LARPers are out there going, "Oh, we got to get our hands on this because
Those people owe me money for telling them.
yeah, get into the museum. So have fun, and we'll keep up with you guys. Keep up with them online. Let's rush to get this thing open because I really want to see the He-Man display. You better have Snake Mountain, and you better have Castle Grayskull.
We even have Eternia.
Oh, I'm done. I will
And the
live
slime
there.
pit
I will live
and
under
the
it.
Terror Zone.
You know what they need now? A shrink ray so we can just get in there and
So I can just
play
live there?
life-size.
Well, She-Ra's in there too.
Of course she is.
Try to find her. She's hidden. Not too hidden.
Okay.
She gave you a look.
I love me some She-Ra.
I got the dirty eyes.
Yeah, be warned about that. There should have been a warning on the door. Don't hide She-Ra. Well, because although you can't hide Bo, he had that skin-shaped heart on his chest.
Yeah.
Okay, we are all going to start getting nostalgic about all of our favorite toys, and we have to let them go so we can get on to our next segment. But go to the Kickstarter, go to the website, show some love for the Austin Toy Museum, and help us keep it here in Austin. Don't make them go to Houston. That would be sad.
No, they have fun things in Houston,
Oh.
but we need it here.
We're also going to do a vintage toy treasure hunt for all of our Kickstarter donors.
Okay, you need
starting
to get
next
off the
week.
show because you're just.
And that.
All right.
I'm
Go
just
to
like,
that,
I
look
can
up the
talk all day.
awesomeness.
No, a vintage toy hunt, like a scavenger hunt around the city.
Yes.
You're gonna
around
go like
the
hang
city.
Barbie dolls out of a tree.
Yes.
That won't be at all creepy.
I didn't think you were
so
going to say yes, that literally you're hanging things out of a tree. Okay, we've got to let them go because we're running out of time, and they just keep piling on more awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all very much for having us on.
Oh,
Holy
thank
crap!
you.
Like, yeah,
Princess, thank
just
you.
I'm completely sold. I'm
Yes.
just.
Much like Jim herself.
Well, you
the Toy
just
Museum-
manhandled her. You're like,
Because I play with toys the same way I played with toys when I was 3. But the Toy Museum will be truly, truly, truly outrageous.
Truly.